Yeah.
Okay, are we going to practice?
Yeah, let's do this thing.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to do this standing up because that's how you do this practice. Okay. So let's start by standing up.
Okay.
All right. So I have been doing this for a number of years now, and so I can say that I've made a fool of myself many times. Thank you for that. Mm-hmm. Made a fool of myself doing this practice many times.
Perfect.
And so I don't feel as foolish anymore. Even though those who watch me do this will immediately assume, yes, that guy's a fool.
They're more embarrassed than you are.
They're more embarrassed than I am. Uh-huh. That's right. Yeah, exactly. So here's how it goes. Okay. We're going to be using our nose and not our mouth for breathing in this case. Now, I have a slightly stuffy nose because of pollen in the air. So this, I hope it doesn't get ugly, but I'm gonna work with that with the sinuses here. Mm-hmm. It's always good to have like a box of Kleenex nearby for this kind of thing. What we're going to be doing is breathing through our diaphragms. And the diaphragm, of course, is this spot. You find the bottom of your rib cage and take a couple fingers there. You're going to feel your diaphragm. So when you breathe in, you feel it coming out. When you breathe out, you feel it going back in. So we're going to be focusing on that diaphragm there, bringing that air into our lungs through our nose. We're also going to be using our arms in this practice. This is where the chicken part comes in. Okay. Because the arms act as a kind of, bellows. So when I'm bringing my arms up and when I'm pushing them down, I'm literally pulling that air into my lungs in a way that's really like forcing all that oxygen in there really fast in large quantities.
Because I could fake it without really doing much of just...
Yeah.
Right? But then this is actually really adding in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're going to start with that, actually. We're going to start with just practicing that.
Okay.
The important thing here is to just do the nose.
Okay.
If you open your mouth, you can hyperventilate, and then you will collapse.
So it's a safety concern.
It's a safety concern.
Focus on the nose.
Yeah, just focus on the nose. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll start real slow, and we'll just bring our arms here, and we'll go in breath through the diaphragm, out breath. Just shoot that air right out.
Okay, super fast.
So you can see that you can feel it already. Do you feel anything like a tingling or?
Yeah, it's especially just when you push down fast. Like that's what feels I feel more energized.
Yeah. You automatically feel more energized.
Yeah.
And what you're really doing is you're really pushing that air into your lungs, energizing, putting the oxygen in your bloodstream, and it is waking you up in a way that's super healthy and sustainable.
Yeah.
So that's not all of it. That's just how we start.
Okay. Phase one.
As you get going, you might want to speed up a little bit. So it's like that, right? And then we bring some of the legs into it. We'll bring our legs into it. Now this can, if you're not feeling coordinated in the moment, this could go bad.
Yeah. Okay.
But we'll try it a little bit. We'll start up, and then we'll bend our legs a little. So you can see your whole body's involved in this thing.
Yeah, now we're getting truly physical out of this. Yeah. So I'm getting a little physical activity.
That's right.
And movement. I'm getting the whole blood flowing head to toe.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you can do this. You can, people in different stages of physical fitness or different, you can do this in the chair. If you're experiencing some kind of disability, you can do this thing in your chair. If you have functioning limbs, upper limbs, you can do this. You could even do it without functioning upper limbs and just work on that nose. Whatever you can do is what you should do.
Yeah.
So if you are able to stand up and do this practice full on, then give it a try. If you're feeling uncomfortable but starting that way and you can stand up, just start by don't even move the rest of your body. And start out slow. Do it for 30 seconds and check in. So this is something that I want to introduce as part of our practice too, is checking in. So from this point forward in the other modules, we're going to be checking in. We're going to start by saying, where am I at right now? Bring some mindfulness to what we're thinking right now, how we're feeling right now, and then setting our intention. So checking in, setting the intention. I'm doing this for a purpose. May I be more alert? That could be your intention for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then starting slow, 30 seconds. And then stopping and going, check in. How am I feeling? Feeling a little bit more energized, feeling some blood flowing, feeling a little bit tingly, tingly in a good way. Can I do another 30 seconds, right? And then speed it up a little bit. Maybe a little faster. And then check in. How stupid do I feel? How am I feeling right now? Am I able to face myself in the mirror anymore?
Is anyone looking?
Yeah, is anyone looking? Check for cameras. No. Just check in. And then if that's looking good, see if you're up for moving into that last phase where you're bringing your legs in. So let's try that for a few seconds.
Okay, how long are we going this?
Let's do 20 seconds.
20 seconds.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
All right, here we go. Speed it up. That's it.
Woo!
All right. That's it. So that's the practice. So you're going to feel, when you're done with it, you're going to feel alert, but you also might feel out of breath. And that's okay. That's discomfort, right? A lot of times we're kind of conditioned to think, well, if I'm working out, being out of breath is okay. But if I'm out of breath after doing a practice like that, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But you just sit with it. Let it be what it is. And as it passes, take note of where your mind is. How I feel more alert right now than I did before.
Same.
And that's the time to apply it to whatever you're doing, whether it's taking an exam or working on an assignment or whatever.
Yeah, it's energizing, especially if you're in a room where many college classes are, where there's these fluorescent lights. They can kind of become numbing.
That's true.
And something like that. That's one thing that I noticed out of this practice is I feel like even the room feels brighter.
Yeah.
So,
I've noticed that too. Yeah.
So that's great. That was a great one. Anything else on dynamic breathing?
Yeah, dynamic breathing. Start out small. Just slow.
And I'd recommend, too, I had students, because I taught this to a couple of students, and they actually knew it already. And it was actually a joke, but also a nonverbal behavior that they would do to each other when they knew that they were stressed. They would come into each other's rooms, their roommates, and they would go,
that's it.
And it's a reminder of I'm in an area that I need to kind of maybe check myself.
Yeah, if you're with people you trust, this can be a great sort of community building exercise. You know what I mean? You get together, it's funny, you look like a fool, and you end up having a blast together. So that's another thing. Try it with other people that you trust. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.